Jupiter Artland is this extraordinary place. It's a sculpture park on the outskirts of Edinburgh, and we at the Centre for Interaction Design at Edinburgh Napier University have been working with them for nearly 4 years on a multitude of projects with students and staff.
Napier had visited for a look around, and one of the lecturers, Tom Flint, just approached me back in 2009 now with the idea of developing some digital interaction with our collection, and that was the starting point really.
Through various student projects and an innovation voucher, we've been looking at how to use emerging technologies, things like geo-triggering, geolocation, to enhance the visitor experience, how to augment it with digital material in an unobtrusive, interesting, novel and kind of joyful way. And the culmination of all this work has been the iPhone app that we've developed in collaboration with Jupiter Artland and has been funded through Ambition Scotland.
The funding, this was the application we made last November, and it was a peer-reviewed process, so there was an awful lot of quite strong competition, and everybody had to, everyone applying for the funding had to review each other, which meant that you really were having to be very fair. And I think people were. We got the funding. I think we were very ambitious with what we said we would deliver with our funding, and I think we have delivered a huge amount for the funding that we've been given, and we have now got our app, so it's a very great achievement.
Let's take a quick look at the app in action. The app opens to a series of instructions introducing the app's 4 sections and explain the features and navigation gestures. These have to be read before the app will start the first time it's launched. There are 4 sections. Let's have a quick look at each. The home section allows people to plan their visit before coming, from booking tickets to finding directions. The artwork section contains the material for each artwork, both past and present. This view allows us to move between artworks by swiping up and down. Swiping to the right opens the list view, and here we can sort the artworks by proximity, i.e. in order of how near they are, or alphabetically by artwork or by artist. The proximity view is automatically updated as you walk around the Artland, and tapping on an artwork takes you to its cover page. Swiping to the left opens the detail view with information about the piece and its artist. Each has a gallery with images. And many have a range of videos from interviews with the artist to aerial and dog's eye views. What's a dog's eye view, you ask? Well, exactly what it sounds like. The map section provides a satellite overview of the Artland. The pink icons indicate third eye material, and we'll get to that shortly. But the icons show the locations of the various artworks. And if I were at the Artland as I was recording this, I would show up as a blue dot, just like on your Maps app. Tapping on an artwork takes us to the details view for that piece. We also have an alternate view showing each artwork on a version of Jupiter's paper map, a copy of which is given to each visitor when they arrive. The third eye section is when things get interesting. Here you can activate the third eye, a feature of the app that lets visitors choose to be notified about past events. These ephemeral elements occurred in the past but are tied to certain locations around the Artland. When selected by a visitor, they will receive a notification when they are near that location in which they took place. For example, past artworks which are no longer present, or events and exhibitions that have taken place. The third eye acts as a window into the past and provides a novel way to tie together Jupiter's amazing collection of material and the physical environment it relates to. The collaboration with Jupiter Artland has been fantastic, but also one of the things that's been very exciting for me is to be able to make use of the skills and experiences of our students to deliver this app.
I'm Aurélien Amelout. I work for Edinburgh Napier. I'm also a research student there, and I'm a professional iOS developer. And I developed the Jupiter Artland app over the summer. but I was never aware of this place before we started working together. And I remember the first time I came to Jupiter Artland, going on this driveway. I just came here with my iPhone to survey, like just to take note of where the artworks are for the development. And that was my first contact with Jupiter Artland, was visiting the whole site on my own when it was closed to the public on a typical Scottish weather day, slightly gloomy atmosphere, and I absolutely loved it from the first minute.
The design philosophy of the app has been critical, and I think too often people don't understand the context of a space, and they can put technology in which doesn't really help, in fact gets in the way. So very much from the get-go we were concerned with making sure that this enhances the visitor experience and doesn't detract from it.
I think the feedback, I think number one, it is that it really fits. I think the most important thing is that it really fits with what Jupiter is, which is a quirky, unusual, unique institution that is a private collection that is driven by individuals who have a very strong view on what they want to show and how they want to show it, but also share it with, you know, as many people as they possibly can.
What we want is this to have open access, so everybody is able to respond to Jupiter in an open and kind of a very real way. And there are so many people that just feel cut off the moment something's described as an artwork. So actually having a device in their hands is actually almost like sucking a thumb for lots of children. You know, they understand through the actions of working on their phone. So and what we've got in here is quality content that's being delivered in an amazingly sort of open and free and clear way, really. I mean, it's fun and it's brilliant. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant.
I think it's highly intuitive, and so you can easily work it out. And I think the beauty is that some visitors want a lot of information and some want very little, and this, you can do both.
I think the other feedback is how functionally it's working so well, that the GPS function has actually been a lot more successful than probably any of us would have hoped for.
It was brilliant, and the fact that you just press the button, see where you were, pick up on who the artist was. That's when the photographs also were quite helpful as well,
because it's location triggered, so that you as the audience can be in a place where an artwork, an event or an exhibition has been. The location is very, very, very important, and it works, so that's a great relief.
on the satellite map, it was deadly accurate, really. It was incredible. I didn't realise, you know, and I liked the way how the artwork, the list of it changed, you know, your proximity thing. I thought that was really good, just so that, you know, the area that you're in is the artwork that comes up there at the top. So it was really, made it really handy to use. You're not having to scroll down to look at what artwork you're coming up to, because it was there for you.
I really liked the fact that it brought up pieces that weren't here anymore and the positionings of them. I thought that was really handy with relation to other works that we have here which are now site specific. Also, at approaching a piece, you knew exactly what it was, whether there was any piece of video information on it, and of course look up some of the archives of our videos when artists came up with the concept of their pieces here.
Yes, there's all this amazing content that Jupiter have done over the years. I mean, you've got so much film, the artists talking about making their work, there's artists actually making their work and installing that. The dog's eye view, which I think is just so cute and brilliant, and in some cases the dog actually goes somewhere where we couldn't go, so it really does give you a different view.
But I would say the vast majority of people will really enjoy the fact that they can access past work and past events and past exhibitions.
One of my favourite things is the way that you can see the ephemeral content, so things that have happened before, because the history of what's gone on at Jupiter since the beginning is pretty fantastic.
I've been here 3 years, and we've just closed for our 5th year, so there's a lot of stuff I haven't seen and a lot of installs that I haven't done. So even though I was enjoying using the app. I was also enjoying watching the videos on the app because it's stuff that I'd never seen before.
And I love the Midsummer Snowstorm, and I found this when I was finding the material for the app. I was like, this was such a brilliant day. It was in so his proposal was to have a snowstorm on a midsummer's day, and it took place in the driveway. So the idea is with the app, you'll go along the driveway and it will notify you and tell you that this happened, and then it takes you to this video, all these great pictures of all these people in their summer shorts but with snow all over them and playing in the snow. And I was like, wow, I'm so jealous I wasn't there. So, but apart from that, it just makes you think, oh, this is a great place with so much going on and so much more than what I see before me right now.
So there's all sorts of ways that it really enriches the experience of the collection.
And you know, Jupiter has got little quirky aspects to it. That's what a lot of people like, and so has the app. I mean, I think the dog's eye view of things.
I mean, it's a bit bonkers.
It is.
It's great. I mean, and fun. I mean, you know, and that is exactly what Jupiter is, but with a background of hugely professional and sort of intuitive work behind it.
I think of it almost like a director's commentary on a DVD in some ways, in that if you want to just enjoy the space, by all means do so, that's kind of why you're there. But if you want to find out a little more information, then there is a wealth of that information at your fingertips. And that's particularly useful if you've never been before, or if you aren't an expert in art, which is a lot of us.
I think it's great for people who aren't necessarily used to art or don't know what art's about, and they would like to have a little bit of background and have the art explained to them.
I think I'm glad that I saw it for the first time with the app, even though you said, you know, you don't just enjoy it, you don't have to use it, whereas I found I enjoyed it a lot more because of it.
And I think what's great about this app is you can choose it yourself, you know, so you're walking along and you kind of think, I want to know more about this one. Maybe you don't want to know more about another one. And you can look through all this great media content and choose from it.
It was like having an audio tour that you have at a museum, but I always get really confused with those things because I always end up going the wrong way, or like stopping it by accident, or once my headphones came out of it and I didn't realise. Whereas this one, you're 100% in control of all the audio and where you are, because obviously you can take any route around the park. So that's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. It was, you know, you still have control as opposed to being slightly bossed around, you know, which a lot of, I think, things like this could have a habit of doing.
And I think we've had very, very good feedback so far from the people at Jupiter, and I'm that's really rewarding after working on this project. Especially, I think we push the boundaries of digital tourism.
Because I don't know of any other kind of arts institutes or galleries that are doing this at the moment. I've known a few that have maybe developed a temporary app for a specific exhibition or something, but then it's come down. So I think there's so much scope to build on this.
And this app is going to be free. So it's
free.
And that is so important, because we charge to come in, and that goes to the Education Foundation, and people find that perception difficult, but getting a free app when you're here that works and activates when you come into the space is actually saying we take your experience very seriously. So on a tourism level, this is brilliant.
The tourism industry seems to be waking up to the potential for these emerging technologies to really enhance the visitor experience, and it's more than just having, you know, audio guide and some screens dotted around. It's about saying, how can we understand this space? How can we understand the visitors? How can we understand how they want this information in an unobtrusive but powerful and rich and an engaging way? And I think we're very excited because I think we've achieved that with this app, and it's something we're all really, really proud of.
I think it's been a really a fantastic process in lots of ways for us as an institution. I think it's made us question, it's made us develop, it's made us professionalise. There have been all sorts of ways that we've had to ask ourselves questions and move things forward, tighten things up and grow. For a new institution, it's that process in itself has been a huge leap.